This episode is in collaboration with James Moll's Running Coaching. No idea who he is. Now, James has been coaching experienced runners and those getting into running for over 7 years. From weekly and monthly session planning, advice on nutrition and race day prep, as well as strength sessions as well, specific for runners. James, me, can help offer you a range of services to support you to be the very best runner you can be. For more info, visit James Moll's Running Coaching on the socials.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 141 of the Local Runners Podcast. It's a podcast by runners for runners, and we're your hosts. I'm Sean Warburton.
I'm Colin Parkinson.
I'm Dave Norman.
And I'm James Moles. Make sure you get signed up for local races and support local clubs. So, great race coming up is the Black Knight Charge. It's on the 22nd of July. So, you need to make sure you get those places filled. Not many left to go. Make sure you get on. It's a multi-terrain race, 6 miles, and you'll also see loads of us from the podcast as your marshals and helping with that race as well. And there's a junior race, a 2-mile race. You need to be aged between 10 on the 31st of August 2026 and maximum age of 15 on the 22nd of July. So make sure you get signed up for the Black Knight Charge.
You'll see that it's been posted loads on socials as well. Andy Sykes at East Cheshire has absolutely peppered everyone's socials, all the local clubs as well. So yeah, get signed up. So Twisted Running is where you need to go for your kit. You can browse everything that they've got on site. I've actually had a delivery of a bucket hat that is going to be going to Dave Barrett. So I messaged him the other day and said that we've got one for him. So if you've got anything that you want from Ben at Twisted Running, get over onto the website, drop him a message, have a look at all the kit that they offer. When I went down the other week, there was some really light technical vests as well, so ones with loads of holes all the way through it to keep you cool, and it's definitely what you need in these heat waves that we're having. It can also sort your club out with kit, so if you drop him a message, I said it in the last episode, he's got someone working for him to do designs for the club kit, and you can do custom kit with no minimum order as well, which is really good if you're doing something for a charity or just want something really personal to yourself. So yeah, get on it.
Yeah, just a couple of points on that. I actually didn't realise Twisted Running had a physical store, and then I was out on a bike ride and saw it behind the Holfords in Altrincham. So yeah, if anybody is in the area or just wants to pop down and have a look, you can see the kit physically in person. And just another one to mention, one of our previous guests, Inky Steve, you may remember, he's now got his own collection of clothing on the website as well, which is very striking kit, as you would expect if you've seen him in person.
Very, very Inky Steve, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, he's got. Were they the ones that he wore for the Tour of Tame side?
They were.
Yeah, there's some really good ones there. So
when he was on the podcast, the cap he had on was one of his.
Yeah. So yeah, get over to Twisted. Yeah, the top sport.
So let's get on to race reviews. Race reviews are brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. So the team, we've been using Precision Fuel and Hydration for fueling our long runs and recovery and training for a little while now. I found it really good. I actually just restocked up on the old Precision.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, getting back into some training now, which we'll come on to later. You can use code LRP26 for 15% off Precision Fuel and Hydration products. So first race is the Sale Sizzler race number 1. We kicked off the series. It's actually clashed with the Tour, didn't it? It was on the same night as the Tour. Yeah. I did the Sizzler. It was a really hot night, as it always is on the Sizzler, living up to its tradition and its name. And the course was in good condition, though. It did rain a little bit earlier in the day, but it was pretty dry. Nothing to be concerned about. We had 492 finishers, so it was quite a busy race, really, considering that it had the Tour on the same night as well. Winner of the race, first place was Harry Johnson, who's the informed Harry Johnson of Salford Harriers in 1455. What's in this for a name? Ed Slaughter of Swansea Harriers. getting beat into second by Harry, 15.04. And then Aaron...
Slaughtered.
Yeah, I don't want to say that, but that's where I was going. Aaron Doyle, the Vale Royal, 15.05, only a second off there in third. In the women's race, we had Alice Wright of Sale Harriers, 17.05. Lucy Smith of Vale Royal, 17.36. And completing the podium in third, Alexia Holt of Wilmslow Running Club, 17.46. Shall I do the Marple runners as well?
James is here, he might as well jump in on.
Yeah, so Marple runners 10k trail race took place on Sunday the 21st, which started and finished in Bradman's Park as part of the Marple Carnival weekend. So it's a multi-terrain off-road course, featured the Peak Forest Canal, Marple Aqueduct and the Chadkirk Country Park as well. So for the men's, Joe Mercer from Horwich in 36.05, taking the lead there. William Stanley, presumably not with the club, 36.16, and then Sam Peach, 36.21. And then from the women's, from Wilmslow, Nicola Rees taking the lead there, 41.09. Rebecca Jackson, 42.53. And then Jenny Kelly, Stockport Harriers, coming in at 43.07.
And over the last few weeks, we've of course had the Tour of Tameside. The much talked about Tour of Tameside. As Sean already mentioned, day one did clash with the Sale Sizzler. It was on day one, as usual, the Cross Trail 10k. It kicked off on Thursday, June the 18th. The Cross Trail 10k starts in Park Bridge and finishes up in Daisy Nut Country Park. It's a scenic, traffic-free trail route winding through the two country parks, and it features a mix of woodland paths, gravel tracks, and varied undulating terrain. It is a beautifully landscaped course, but it's also a challenging introduction to the weekend, as those who've run it will testify. The results of day one. The winner on day one was Josh Birmingham of Salford Harriers in 33.57. And it was a really convincing win for Josh. He was well clear of second place, who was his clubmate Ryan Wallen, Salford Harriers, 36.05. And then taking the third and final podium spot was Marcus Nicholson of Sale Harriers in 36.19. In the women's race, day one, Chloe Elliott of Sale Harriers was first home in 40.39. Followed by her teammate Erin Terry of Sale Harriers in 41.43, and completing the top three was Carly Gould of Chorlton Runners in 42.32. Moving on then to day two, which was Hell on the Fell. Starts at, what's the name of the place where it starts? Is it Walkerwood Reservoir? There's quite a few reservoirs out there, isn't it?
Brushes
Reservoir, that's the one. Yeah, so it starts at Brushes Reservoir, drops down into Staley Bridge, and then there's a punishing steep climb all the way up to Hobson Moor, and then of course you've got that dreaded descent back down to Copland Leisure Centre to finish.
The descent makes the climb look like an egg and spoon race.
So I love that descent. It's great.
So it really is a punishing race, the Hell on the Fell, the aptly named Hell on the Fell, the route does climb, as I mentioned, from Staley Bridge directly to the trig point or Hobson Moor, and there's a significant elevation gain across the route, about 800 metres in total, making strength and stamina crucial. Moving on to the results, it was Josh Birmingham of Salford Harriers who followed up his win on day one with another win here in 35.43. Ryan Warland a little bit closer on day two, but Josh still had a really good winning margin. Ryan's time on day two was 36.59, so just over a minute in arrears. And then third place this time was Brandon Kenyon Betts, the junior from East Cheshire Harriers, in 37.42.
Go on, the Kenyon.
Who was the Sale Harrier that changed his footwear at the top of the fell?
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So he was called John Archer. Yeah. He's actually an ex-cyclist and a friend of one of our previous guests, Richard Johnson. So yeah, we were discussing this, and John, there was a picture of him crossing the finish line with a pair of carbon shoes in his hands, and he had his trail shoes on his feet. And then I posed the question: did he actually change his shoes during the race? And somebody confirmed that yes, I saw him with his trail shoes tied to his waist when he started the race, and then he changed from his carbon shoes into his trail shoes for the descent.
It's the age-old question, isn't it?
It's answered the question which shoes you should wear on that race.
I mean, it's always been said you're in the wrong shoes for half the race. He has dispelled that theory. And apparently he's done it several times before. So remarkable. So yeah, that was the top three in the men's race on the Hell on the Fell. Moving on to the women's podium. So Chloe Elliott for the second day in a row was first home in 43.18 from Sale Harriers Manchester. And it was actually the same top three, because it was Chloe Elliott, Erin Terry of Sale Harriers again in 45.24, and then Carly Gould again of Charlton Runners in 45.34. Callum's going to pick up the second half of the tour now.
Yeah, so starting on day 3 on the Saturday was Hero Half Marathon at Hadfield, just on the edge of the Peak District. So this is a quick turnaround from Hell on the Fell the night before, and I think it's like a 10 o'clock start. Is that right? Thereabouts?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think a few people were confused because the website actually said 9:30.
Oh, right.
And then a few runners were surprised and had to quickly shuffle.
That's not like the tour organisers, is it?
Well, I'm sure we'll get onto that, Sean. The much talked about. Dave's already said it. So this is a 13.1 mile mixed terrain out and back course, which allows traffic free on the former railway lines of the Longdale Trail, providing breathtaking countryside views. Because it's an out and back route, the faster runners can pass and loop back towards the start. So every time I've done that, I've always found it really beneficial, because it does take your mind off, and you're spending probably about a third of the race looking back at people. Well, you're looking at half of the race looking back at people as you're coming back. So in the men's results, you've got Joshua Birmingham again winning day 3 in 1 hour 11:51 of Salford Harriers. Jonathan Manning, a one-day person, I'm not going to swear, he was second in 1:13:42. Which again is a great time on there. Marcus Nicholson of Sale was 1:15:16, and then Brandon Kenyon Betts was 4th of East Cheshire Harriers in 1:15:50. So I've included Brandon because that keeps it in for someone that's doing the full tour. So then for the women's results, Chloe Elliott won day 3 from Sale Harriers in 1:26:37. Carly Gould moved up the podium into second from Charlton Runners, and she was in 1:32:55. And then Jenny Fox of Sale Harriers was third in 1:35:55.
Just on that one, Callum, obviously we mentioned that Erin Terry was second in the first 2 stages, and I believe she's a junior.
Yeah.
Did I read correctly that she missed the half because of her age, or have I got that one wrong?
I thought that was last year, because I'm sure she did the full tour.
Maybe she did do the full tour.
Because I think it was the fact that her and her sister were then eligible to do it this year, do the full tour, and then it was the same for Oliver Walker as well, because he couldn't do the half last year. Yeah,
because he did the full tour this year.
Yeah, he did. And just to say as well, Oliver Walker did on that course, he did 1:19:55, I think, which is great with two races in your legs at his age.
So he's only 17, and Erin is she the same age?
I think so, yeah. So then on to day 4, Sunday the 21st of June, at Hyde Town Centre. It was a Dr. Ron Hill Hyde 7. So this 7-mile grand finale, where runners start and finish in Hyde, tackling a combination of uphill road segments and fast flat tarmac paths. In the men's results, Joshua Birmingham of Salford Harriers made it 4 out of 4 with 36:09. Ryan Warland was second of Salford Harriers in 38:07. Stephen Henderson of Sale Harriers was third in 39:35. He was a one-day person. And then Marcus Nicholson of Sale Harriers came in 4th, and he was full tour, and he was 39.36. So then in the women's results, Chloe Elliott of Sale Harriers, she was first in 44.57. Carly Gould stayed on second on the podium from Charlton Runners in 47.22, and then our own Katie Kay from East Cheshire Harriers and Local Runners Podcast was third in 48.11 after taking a bit of a tumble and doing a cartwheel a few miles in. Apparently, probably all the prosecco she's been drinking.
So the full standings at the end of the tour, probably no surprise. Josh Birmingham in first and sub 3 as well, 2:57.42. That's a bit of a thing, isn't it, with the 4-day event, breaking 3 hours. Ryan Worland, 3:07.07 in second place, also of Salford Harriers. And then in third place, Marcus Nicholson of Sale Harriers, 3:09.32. So some really strong running across the tour there. I mean, just looking at the results overall, really, particularly at the sharp end in the women's and men's races, it was a higher standard, I felt, this year.
It was a good standard.
Yeah, you could see it was. I went to watch some of the race, and it looked like they were all shifting at the front.
Yeah, I know he only did the first stage, but it was also good to see Ashley Buckley back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't realise he was just doing one. When I saw him, I thought, oh, is he doing the whole tour?
Yeah,
maybe next year, Ash.
Yeah. Can I just say, I've got to correct myself. Erin didn't do the full tour. I think she did miss out on the half.
Right, yeah. I thought that's what Katie had said.
Yeah, I think Mum did the full tour, Wendy. But yeah, I can't see anyone else.
Okay, so the women's podium was Chloe Elliott of Sale Harriers Manchester in first and 3:35.34. Second was Carly Gould of Charlton Runners and 3:48.25, and Katie Kay, East Cheshire Harriers and Local Runners Podcast, 3:56.39. When I saw the standings going into the last day, and Katie was in, I think she was in third, maybe fourth, and I thought she better not mess about today, waving at everybody in like she does, and I'm just there for a laugh and a prosecco. She needs to pull her finger out. So well done, Katie.
So Katie was just short of 6 minutes in front of Jenny Fox, who was in 4th.
Yeah. But you can lose that. You can. It's amazing how quick positions change around across the tour.
Yeah.
If you don't concentrate, yeah.
And them times are all done on gun time as well. So the full tour results are always done on gun time and not chip time.
And we've said it in previous years. The half is often the one where people gain and lose the time. I mean, Ryan did really well over the 4 days. Finished second overall. But I think the half actually ended up being his worst run of the 4. Yeah,
surprising that, isn't it, really, as well. Yeah. But you just don't know what effort people are going at. I think if you want to do well in the tour, me and Elliot were chatting at track a couple of weeks ago, I think you've got to be able to run it at 80%. Do you know what I mean? I think somebody like Josh there, I don't believe he's running balls to the wall on any of them stages. I think he's good enough to run it at 80%, and I think that's what gets you through. I think if you're really pushing on stage 1, stage 2, you're probably going to struggle to see high market, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
So as I found out.
So Ryan was only 3 seconds off Brandon's half time as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall, following the tour over the weekend, I went to watch the first 2, and then I was following all the results coming in. This year for me has probably been the most competitive.
Yeah.
I think all the way down the field. I know Josh has actually ran away with it in the grand scheme of things, but further down the field, even like the women's results, Chloe's ran away with it, but then still further down, you're still seeing a mix and a change of people in all the events.
Good battle through the vet categories as well. I know Mark had a good race, didn't he?
Yeah.
With, is it James? I think it was called James in second, but he was never far enough away that he could be relaxed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was on him sort of a couple of minutes throughout, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good standard. Local shouts anyway, so this is obviously going to be extensive, this list, isn't it?
It's not that big. I have whittled it down a little.
So David and Diane Clark, which is a husband and wife combo, they both won their age categories, M65 and female vet 60 from Striders. Ben Rainey from Bellevue, previous guest, he completed the full tour. Such an achievement only 2 years after heart surgery, which he talked about when he was on the podcast, and to run it with a stoma as well. I did see him actually, give him a high five running through G-Cross. It was good atmosphere in the village. It's only his second ever half marathon too. Well done to Katie and all the other runners. I think this is from
Nadia.
Yeah, from who?
Nadia. From Bellevue.
All right, so well done to Katie and all the other runners. Love the tour. Hopefully I'll be able to do it all again next year. Thank you, Nadia. It says at the end. Should have read that.
It does.
Yeah. Mark Matthews, who's been out for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic finishing 9th overall, and he was buzzing when he saw him with his number on.
Yeah, that was me, because I thought I was reading that bit. But yeah, I was buzzing when I saw him on day one.
Made it hard for me here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well.
He really looked like he was enjoying himself as well.
Yeah.
Every race he had a smile on his face.
Yeah. This guy here, this was one of the runs at the tour, this, for me.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I went running with him on Sunday and we had a good chat about this.
Josh Walton finishing 7th. LRP kit on the Hero half marathon, but it's just, what's he done in his training? Because he's absolutely flying, isn't he? Yeah,
so he was training up for Blackpool Marathon.
Yeah.
And then he just said that he was going to knock it on the head. And then he's just pushed himself into 5k training. I think he's pushed, I think he's gone with a coach, and he started to, I think he's doing a lot more stuff at home, like strength work. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is. But on the going up, Josh just moves really fast. It's like his feet really don't come that far off the ground when he's actually running uphill, but he still just shifts. So yeah, Josh did fantastic.
Superb run, that, well done.
Yeah.
East Cheshire 22 that ran at least one stage, 22 that ran at least one stage, and Hyde Striders 42 that ran at least one stage routing for, so a big local club presence out. Hyde running community as well, they had lots of runners out there. We can't say them all on the results under HRC because it's not.
But there was that fantastic photo of the all at the finish of the Hyde 7.
Yeah.
And you could see this sea of yellow.
Yeah.
There's a really nice photo of the last two runners from HRC finishing, and all the other runners are running towards the finish with them. Obviously, they didn't go through the line again, but that was nice.
Yeah. So really standout kit as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I know it's not on your list, Sean, but I think I should mention Mark's performance again. Collier.
Mark Collier,
Yeah, at 50, again, well placed overall, I think.
Is that his 9th tour in a row or something now for Mark?
Some going.
It's not like Mark to race, is it?
He was back racing on the week after, wasn't he?
First Vet 50.
He's racing tomorrow as well, and Wednesday.
I think, Tim Greenall did the tour.
Yeah.
And he did Manchester Mile a couple of days after the last stage.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the Wednesday.
And then he did the Winkle Trout Fell race on the weekends. So Tim's racing a lot as well.
Yeah, some really good performances.
I think also it would be remiss of us not to mention Tony Hillier. 24th tour, I think it was for him.
Really?
His 24th tour.
I was chatting to Glenn Piper in G-Cross, and Tony went past, moving really well. And Glenn goes, look at all these people that Tony's ahead of. You know what I mean? There's hundreds of people, and he's
into his 70s now.
Yeah, about 75, and still running really strong. But not just an isolated one-off race. And some of these guys we were talking about were one-day persons.
Yeah.
You know, and he's there running the full tour. I think
24th time, and that 75 is incredible,
isn't it? It really is. Yeah.
There's some stats as well that we got from the results. It was 920 had signed up for the full tour. 529 completed the 4 days, and 704 people ran at least one race.
Yeah,
as well. So
big numbers this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good. And I think that's got to be from the enter for £20. Everyone's going to sign up for a 4-day event for £20.
Yeah,
I think that's why the drop off was so high, because people just probably think if they don't end up doing it, it's not like I've spent a fortune on it.
I honestly don't know how they make that pay.
Well, we'll probably come into that just now.
Should we do that now?
Yeah.
Let's do
Can we just say as well, loads of people in Local Runners podcast kit as well, sporting the vest, t-shirts all the way through the weekend. So thank you very much for supporting us as well as your clubs.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to say is I went to watch 3 of the 4 races. I've never ever made it to the half yet. There's always something. And this year I was at a wedding, so I couldn't go to the half. But the one thing that really, and I say it every year I go and watch, is the camaraderie at that event is like no other.
Yeah.
Like the spirit and the camaraderie and the togetherness. It's just. I don't think there's another race that compares to it.
I think that's what makes the Tour so successful.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know it's an iconic local race.
Yeah.
I'm sure many.
It's a unique race as well, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. And so many have seen the old videos on YouTube of the old races back in the 80s and 90s, and there's a lot of tradition and history in the Tour as well.
Yeah, if you've not, go on YouTube and just look for Billy Wizzer's videos on the Tour of Tameside 1993, 80s and so on. And you could almost just get into a wormhole of watching the entire tour because you get invested in it and you want to know who wins. You know,
and it's brilliant as well because you see all the old cars from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, no closed roads then, was there? And,
no. But they were being policed.
They were being policed.
Yeah, I mean, the police
heavily
officers,
policed in them
days,
days,
a lot
actually.
of police officers out doing their bit.
Because they had marshals as well, didn't they? Yes. So let's get on to that.
Yeah, let's get on to that.
Do you want to take it? I'll take it.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there at this point, but I was in G Cross, and what I could see is, you know, the hairpin in G Cross. So as the runners come round that corner, you naturally sort of sweep out into the road.
You do, yeah.
And of course, there's traffic coming down from Mottram, isn't there, into the village of G Cross, and they're just runners aren't aware that there's vehicles coming towards them, and it was quite. Like, to watch it was quite difficult because some of them were getting really close.
Also, bear in mind, at that point in the race, they're still in the first mile.
Yeah.
So, if they're in the first mile and there's that volume of runners, it's going to be congested. They're not going to be in single file.
Yeah.
They're going to be 4, 5, 6, even 8 abreast.
Yeah. It really just came down to the traffic thing sort of going, right, we need to stop here. And the cars just stopped. But there's no one stopped them. You know what I mean?
So there was no marshal on that point, was there not?
There was one guy on the corner, but he wasn't really controlling the traffic, and he sort of ran off back down to Hyde.
I think when traffic has the option of going down the road, it's essential.
It's obvious what you need, isn't it? You need someone on Mottram Road just holding the traffic while the mass comes through, which isn't long, to be honest with you. The whole field were through in maybe 15 minutes, and then get them moving again, because when the leaders come through, it's quite thin, isn't it? And then towards the tail end it thins out again. It's not so much of a problem, but there's an area in the middle, isn't there, where it's just hundreds of runners coming around.
Yeah, but it's not only that part that had the issue of the lack of marshals, and it wasn't only that race. I'm pretty sure there was 2 people in the first night that went wrong. I think it was Marcus and Ryan that ended up going wrong. I might be wrong in saying that, but I was told on the night there was a couple of people that went wrong, and it was on the loop, and it was literally just a little arrow on the side. And I think they've changed the first night a few times previously, haven't they, where you did a big loop and then a little loop, but then I think it's gone now to 2 big loops. So I think lack of marshals throughout the weekend, there's probably a few issues.
I mean, there was one particular incident I saw. So I was cycling the full course of the Hyde 7, the final stage, and I kept stopping to cheer the runners through and then trying to get back in front of them. And I just got in front of Josh Birmingham with probably about half a mile to go, and I thought, good, I'll be able to get to the finish and see him coming in. And I got to a point where you have to cross a road, and I thought, there's cars coming up and down this road, and there's no marshal here. I thought, this looks quite dangerous. And the lead car came through with his hazard lights on, and Josh followed him through, and I said to him, just be careful there, there's cars coming towards you. And I thought, if a marshal doesn't appear in the next few minutes, there could be something quite serious happened there. So anyway, then Ryan, the second runner, came through, and I literally had to step into the road to stop a car hitting him. And I thought, I need to go and get somebody before the masses come through, because there's going to be a problem. So I sped down on my bike to the next roundabout and asked a spectator to go and stand at that junction until I could get someone official stood there.
Smart, isn't it?
But yeah, it's probably the most critical point on the course.
Callum, I mean, you know, from being behind the scenes organising the races we've put on, quite tightly regulated, isn't it, with stuff like that in terms of getting your race licence?
Yeah, I think it's more when you're putting stuff. When you're applying for the race licence, so it's Gav that's usually done it for us for the Tour of Tameside. Obviously, that's traffic free. But with the Black Knight, we do have to say like how many marshals.
Tameside 5K.
Yeah, the Tameside 5. What did I say?
Tour of Tameside.
Tameside 5K. Sorry, been a long day. We're talking about it. So then, with that, but you do have to say like how many marshals and that you're going to have. The thing that's kind of in my head is, if they've applied for a race licence, they should have an adjudicator there for every single race day. An adjudicator should know about that.
Officially, they're supposed to have an adjudicator at the race who then reports back to UK Athletics to say all the boxes were ticked, essentially.
Yeah. But it's something like that it could severely injure a person, but it could also kill the race for them.
And
the whole event.
The purpose of that is to make sure mistakes like that don't happen, because mistakes do happen.
Yeah.
But that's what that process is there, isn't it?
Yeah. But they've had the Tour on now for years, and the Hyde 7's always been included. And you know where all your marshal points should be. But people that we were speaking to, like we've got the ambassadors group and we've got the previous guest group as well on WhatsApp. There's a lot of people saying in there that there was they actually offered to the Tour, we'll come and marshal, let us know if you need us to marshal, clubs can help. Like, just imagine you turn around to a local club and say, right, you give me 10 marshals, I'll give you a few places for the full Tour.
Yeah, like the Castles doing, don't they?
Yeah.
And it just needs to be
I did
like
read
that.
somewhere as well there was an issue of water at the finish of the first stage.
They didn't have a key to go down to the finish. So the finish is in the middle of Daisy-Nook Park, and there's a road that you can. Well, it's an off-road track, and they were given the wrong key to get the timing vehicle down as well, and the water. But no one was there with the water at the gate. Like, if you turn round, everyone's coming from the start because you see the runners 2 or 3 times. I was running down. If you turn round to me and said, carry that down to the finish so the runners have got water, no one's going to turn around and say no, are they? It's like, it's just something that can be fixed so easily. But they also didn't have any, and it sounds like we're really slating the Tour here.
We get water down to the Black Knight without a vehicle.
Yeah. But it's like at the finish as well, as soon as you went through the finish on night 1, it was just a mass of people. No one was being funneled away. They had an issue the other year when someone fell over because they sprint finished down the hill, and then it was a fast turn, so they probably got rid of the railings. But even if you just say, right, put the railings in but straight, right, go off to the side and get out of the way. But everyone was crowding round, probably looking for water. But then another thing was, on the presentation on day 4, there was no prizes or trophies. Apparently they were stuck in traffic, which is quite comical, really, isn't it?
It's rubbish. Yeah. Not a good excuse, that, especially on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Why did they find traffic on a Sunday?
Yeah. But the thing, it's like the people have got the trophies now, but it's not trophies. It's a pint glass with something printed on. If I was up there and winning something at the Tour, I'd want a trophy. I wouldn't want a pint glass. I've got enough pint glasses.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
did think the pint glasses were quite nice, having seen them.
Yeah.
But I think 4 hard days of racing, you need to have something to show for it, don't you? Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to sound negative about everything, because obviously the Tour is such a great event, as we've already alluded to, but there's clearly issues there that need resolving.
Definitely, and for the sake of the race as well. Like I said, we were chatting in our group, weren't we? And I said the Tour Tameside deserves better than that. And the runners do it there.
I think the other interesting part, I mean, even for park run, we have, so Stretford, we've got that minor bit of road going through it. Why do we have to have 3 marshals along that section? And if we don't, we just don't go ahead. Because our insurance would be null and void. I think the Tour are at risk if they don't get some of these really important parts. If anything happened, their insurance would not be covered.
Lose the race forever. Once these races go, they don't come back these days.
They've got to make sure that for the security. I mean, I think we've mentioned Salford 10K. You guys have talked about it. I am a little nervous that at some point someone's going to say something about Stockport 10 miler as well, actually, because of the road it goes up. But the Tour are the same. That race for the moment, seems to get its licence. It's okay, but if it's not careful, either its insurance is going to say nah, or they're going to lose their licence from the council because the safety committee are going to go, you're not in the right place.
I think with Salford 10K, we've mentioned it as well. That's overly marshalled. You've got so many. You've got them on. You've even got them on the entry to the cemetery. No one's going to want to go in there when they're doing a race. But
it's just anywhere where traffic can come onto the course, so it's marshalled.
I was trying to make a joke then, but
you know what I mean. It's important that no one comes out of a housing estate, straight onto the course. Never mind crossing a road, and it's just part of the conditions of the risk assessment for the course.
Another thing, actually, just before we move on to training, was on the first night when you do the loop and then you go out and back. When the runners are coming back, there was no marshals where all the crowd was, so we were literally watching them run down from the left down to do the out and back, but they couldn't get through because everyone was crowded. And then at one point someone went like, you need to start moving. Josh must have been about 20-30 metres away, and then a kid runs in front of him and literally just missed him. It was like, oh my god, thank god he didn't get it there. But that could have gone south. But anyway, we do enjoy the tour. Just for its comical value on Monday morning, because every WhatsApp group was going off, weren't it? But
this slot would be redundant if we didn't have all these issues.
To be fair,
we have this annual slot, don't we? On the podcast. But in all seriousness, we all want to see it, right? I really want to do the tour again at some point. I'd love to do it next year. You can't help but love the race, can you? But I just want them to.
It just needs to be safe.
Just need them to get the organisation right. Should we talk about our own training and racing?
We can try.
Dave,
let's have a go.
Shall I go first? Am I first?
You are.
You're down to go first, sure.
Oh yeah. So I've it's been ages since I've been on the podcast.
Yeah, you weren't here last time.
I wasn't here last time. So I've just been getting back into. If you remember last time, I said that I'd come away from being coached and just gone back into my own training. So that's what I've been doing. Anyone that follows me on Strava will see that I've been just back up to sort of, just looking now last few weeks, 70 miles, 80, 72, 80, 77. So getting back up. That's more typical what I used to do, and I'm also doing track work as well on Tuesdays.
So you mentioned before we started recording that you're back doing the club sessions again, which I know you said you'd really missed.
Yeah, the first couple were really brutal, but I'm starting to feel myself again in them. It seems to come back quite quickly, that kind of training, all that stimulus. For me it does anyway. And I've just got back into some park runs as well, so I've done Alex park run in 17:11, which I was really pleased with that. I did do Edinburgh park run when I was up there. That was a different kettle of fish. That was 17:55, I think. But I went out. It was a real strong headwind, but it was super easy going out. And I thought, I feel great. I'm going to take this wind on when it hits me. It was horrendous. I think I did like 5:30 minute mile, a 5:30, and then like a 6:10 or something. Just like shoot me now. And I thought there was a point in that where I thought I might just stop. It was so bad.
But you've come a long way, because I remember a couple of months ago you said, how can a 19-minute park run feel so hard? That's why I was really pleased to get so close to 17 minutes at Alex at that first one. And I did do the Sale Sizzler as well, and 17:18 I think there. I was a little bit disappointed with that, but I was a bit
nervous before, and I don't think I quite pushed myself as hard as I can. I wouldn't normally say that, but I just thought I'll take it easy on the first mile, and I was always a bit frightened of what it was going to feel like in a 5k again, having not done one for so long. Yeah, so I think I left a bit out there. 70. I definitely did. If I can do a park run a bit quicker, I think you're a bit less. There's less worry in a park run, isn't there? You just turn up on a Saturday morning and run it, don't you? But in a 5k race, I don't know. It just feels different, doesn't it?
I've always said that the Sale Sizzler, it's quite overwhelming for me when I've done it. Starting on the track and it being so busy, and having to make sure you're in a good position when you get out of the track, so then you can hit the first corner essentially. A bit more free. There's
quite a lot of elbows, isn't there, going through that gate. You've got to be in a good spot really going through there. But I did enjoy it. I was buzzing when I finished. It was just that feeling of doing a race again. Really enjoyed it. And then just been enjoying training with Matt, we were talking about before on Tuesday, so I've been doing a bit of double threshold, playing around with that, and just playing around with stuff through the summer. I've got Wilmslaw 10k coming up, a couple more Sale Sizzlers, and working towards Yorkshire Marathon in the autumn. Can't remember if I talked about my iron as well on the last podcast. That's gone up quite a bit now, so it was 25 is really quite low, which is where it was in March. Got it retested recently. It's 45, which is still low, but it's into the normal range now.
It will make a huge difference to how you feel in that.
Definitely.
How you're able to perform.
I mean, when I did my VO2 max test at Nuffield Health in Manchester, my max heart rate was 170.
What do you reckon it was when you ran the marathon, your iron levels? I mean, I know you...
It's got to be... I don't know when it dropped off, really. I really struggled in London, though. And obviously I struggled in
25
Valencia.
in March, chances are it wouldn't have gone much higher than that.
No.
For the marathon.
No. So it limits your ability to almost rev the engine, iron, and get your heart rate up. So I think I was at 170 heart rate on my threshold test, and I've hit sort of 177 now in track sessions and in the Sizzler. So that's something I couldn't do a few weeks ago. So obviously if you can get your heart rate higher, everything else is going to move up a bit, innit? So it's definitely seen a little bit of a difference now in what I'm able to do in training. Just need to turn a couple of good training weeks into a good race at some point. So that's it. But just building nice volume at the minute. Feels nice to be back. Like, I know it sounds daft really, but when you coach, you've got a very strict regime to follow. I took it as being strict anyway, and like if Dan gave me like 50 minutes, I wanted to do 50 minutes. I didn't want to do 49 or 51. I wanted to do 50. And it's like pretty anal stuff like that. But you want to make the on training piece, you get like green, don't you, if you hit your session. So I was making sure I was hitting them all. But now I can just do what I want. So like if I don't feel great on a Wednesday, I think, I'll do this instead. You know what I mean? And I just quite like that flexibility. I think it fits around my work as well, because I travel with work and I'm not always able to commit to some of the stuff that I was being given, and as a consequence you're rushing it a bit then. And I've said before, I just train better with people, mate. I could be coached by, like, I don't know, Renato Canova, but if I'm doing it on my own, I'm just not going to run as well as if I'm like training with you, you know. Like, and on the track we're doing track session.
It's not just the training with people and the fact you're going to bounce off them. It's having that contact with other people as well. 'Cause you look forward to it, don't you?
Yeah, it's enjoyable, isn't it? At the end of the day, we're not professional athletes, so we're just people who work and enjoy running, and you've
got to find what you enjoy in running, and you know, running should never feel like a chore. It should always feel like something you enjoy and look forward to.
So just
before, you very much enjoy the process.
I do, so just just need to get on top of this iron issue, and then a bit more flow with my training.
Going in the right direction. Are you going to do any of the other Sizzlers, or just the one?
Just the only one I'll miss is the one this week, because we're off to Precision Fuel and Hydration. So I'll miss the Friday night one this week. So I'll do the next 2 after that. Hopefully I can try and I want to get under 17 minutes. 5k again. Feel like you're making progress then if I can do that, because I'm quite a way off that at the minute. 11 seconds doesn't sound a lot, but it's quite a lot. 11 seconds in a 5k, isn't it? Yeah.
Really, it's great to have a positive update from you as well.
There's nothing shit going on.
Give it time.
Give it time. What about you, Dave? Positivity. I can see a positive Strava graph there on your phone.
Well, the numbers aren't particularly high, but I am doing some running. So a bit back, as I've mentioned in the last couple of episodes, back doing some running over the last few weeks. Still being very cautious, following Duncan's advice in terms of building up slowly. So it was started off with 20 minutes every other day, and then it went to 25 every other day for a week, then it went to 30 every other day for a week, got to 40 every other day for a week, and then the next step was to start thinking about doing some back-to-back days. So did a couple of back-to-back runs last week, which was nice, and not too much reaction. The tendons are definitely responding better now they're being loaded a bit more. We spoke before we started recording about that, how tendons like to be loaded, and I think those first couple of weeks, even though the runs were quite short, there was quite a few aches and pains because those tendons hadn't been used to being loaded, and they were getting used to being loaded again. But things are heading in the right direction. Still get some aches and pains around the knee, but then it'll settle down, and it all seems to be going in the right direction. I guess a couple of major things to update, apart from the mileage trending upwards very slowly. Last Saturday, so 2 Saturdays ago, I mentioned in the Tour of Tameside race review that I didn't go because I was at a wedding. And the wedding day started with a trip to Stretford Park Run, because the groom was quite keen that he and some of the other guests ran the Stretford Park Run. So the intention was we'd all run together, and obviously I've not ran with anybody apart from one run with James, actually. After
which was supposed to be an easy pace 5 mile, and I'm like, this is an easy pace.
So I'd done a run with James after one of the strength sessions, that was my first experience of running with other people. But standing on the start line of a park run, even though your friends are saying, we're going to all run together and we're going to take it easy, you never know how it's going to pan out. We ran the first mile in 6:51, I think it was, and I was thinking, okay, that felt easy enough, but that's the fastest mile I've ran so far. And then the second mile was 6:24, and then I thought, this is starting to get a bit spicy for my fitness now. And then they went into the third mile, and they started running sub 6 minute mile, and I thought, I need to let them go now, because I don't want to tear anything or trigger the tendon, because it's just not. Obviously you're loading it more when you're running at pace, and you're putting more force through the body.
That's the thing, innit? It's the force through your tendons that's increasing all the time.
So my last mile last week at that park run was 6:12, and I was thinking, well, that was actually quite hard, that last mile. But I hadn't done anything other than a little bit of jogging. I spoke to Duncan and told him I'd done the park run and how it had panned out, and he said, well, if you came through that unscathed, I think you should go to the park run every Saturday and run it as a progression run. So I thought, okay, that sounds like a good plan, something to look forward to once a week. So I went back to Stretford on Saturday. It was a lot warmer, and they were posting the day before saying, please don't push it too hard, it's going to be very warm. And one of the things we'd done on the as the wedding group, we'd gone off we'd started a long way back, and sort of been forced into quite a slow early pace on the track. But I know it was a busy one because Alexandra was off, so I thought, well, I'll start a little bit further forward this week. Still 5 rows back, but then I got through the first mile. I was like, 6:12, that was my fastest mile last week. It's like, maybe it won't be a progression run today. But actually what happened was I progressed, because it was a warm day, I progressed the effort, I progressed my position, but I think every single mile split was the same.
That's good though.
So I came back with an average of 6:11, which it was
probably not. If you're able to do that, you've not overstretched yourself. Have you just ran to your fitness?
I felt quite comfortable.
Yeah.
19:05, which obviously if I was to do a 5k race and I was sort of going for it, I'd want to be running a lot faster than that. But week to week progress is all I can look for at this stage, and
I think that's a great place to be, don't you?
No real aches and pains, and a lot of it's down to the work I'm doing with James in the gym as well, because that's I think that's been a key factor in sort of managing the injury, and in addition to obviously Duncan.
Wouldn't surprise me if you're like sub 19 next, and all of a sudden then you're in the 18s, aren't you? And, considering how long you've been out for,
13 weeks, didn't run a step.
Exactly, it's unbelievable that, really.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking about this, although like a 19-minute 5k doesn't sound particularly quick, actually, like if I was to go down to Greengate on a Thursday and do a tempo and run 6-minute miling, which is close to where I'm at.
It's a workout, isn't
it's
it?
Like that I'd be quite happy with that as a tempo and a reasonable level of fitness. So all trending in the right direction. Still no thoughts of racing at this stage. Just need to continue building up, get the mileage a bit closer to where it needs to be, and then we'll start planning some races hopefully later in the year. Callum.
So after we last recorded, it was my birthday, so I thought I'd treat myself to alternate miles down the Fallowfield Loop. So I did 6:20s and 7:20s as well. What else did I do? I've been doing a little bit more training. Strength training, sorry.
What training?
Training. Don't know how to talk. So then I started to do 2x2 mile tempo as well down the Fallowfield Loop. And from mine, it's downhill, which is fantastic for the first 2 mile, but then coming back is quite difficult. So I did 6:07 on the way out and then 6:26 on the way back, and then struggled with that. I went and did Hyde Park run, and I just did it for a bit of a workout just to try and give myself a bit of a push. Ended up doing 19:05 there and came third. Pipped Dan Cav to the third spot.
So it finds you out Hyde Park run though, doesn't it?
Without a doubt, yeah. There was a guy right at the front with us, and there must have been about 4 or 5 of them. And he turned round and he shouted his mate, he said, "Slow people to the back," to his mate. And I turned round to Cav, I went, "Let's see where he finishes." He finished behind us. Not having any of that. I've been doing quite a lot of walking as well with the dog. And then last week...
You're not been putting that on Strava though?
No, it's hidden. Don't worry about that.
Oh, we're going to have to ask him to leave then.
Yeah. I've not really... I've not done many speed sessions, but I started to do 8x600s. I went into that knowing that it was warm. So this was last Tuesday, so just the beginning of the heat wave. But just down the Fallowfield Loop, there's a place in between a golf course and some woodland. And I've been doing a lot of sessions there, but it's all shaded. It was really, really cool as well. So did that. Averaged about 6-minute miling for them effort, so just trying to build myself up a little bit. And then been doing early morning runs like R5, talking about how hot it is with Sam, and then talking about how we love the rain. On Friday it bucketed down, and it thunderstormed. It was really nice. And then I did a long run with Josh, and that's about it really for my running. So I'm just slowly building up. I've got Wilmslow 10k as well, so I'm going to use that as a bit of a tempo. I'm a bit worried about what the heat's going to be like, because I think it's going to start heating up again.
Just got to send it.
That race every year is hot. You just kind of got to keep it in the context of
just let the heat. Let the heat worry about you.
Worrying about killing me. But then I after the marathon, I mentioned that I didn't feel too well after the marathon. So I've been having like heart palpitations and like hands shaking loads. So I went to the doctors, had blood tests. They turned around and said that my iron levels were through the roof.
Wow.
Like really,
we
really
need
high.
to get together.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll tell
I'll have a look at your diet.
I'll make him really jealous. And then folate as well seems to be really, really high, which they're saying is to do with eating a lot of veg and fruit. I eat a lot of fruit, but I wouldn't expect it to be so high. But I had an ECG, and I'm lay there on the bed, and I've got, I think it's 12 wires stuck to me, and then they record the ECG. It must have been about 20-30 seconds, and then they play it back on the phone to Brookhaven, this place, and then they put it through a machine, and then they say what was right and what was wrong. I'm sat lay there, and this woman goes, she's on the phone, and she goes, "Oh, has he?" I thought, oh God, what's wrong here? So apparently there was an anomaly with my ECG, and I thought I'll find out what it actually means. They did tell me.
You're not just reading the email now, are you? Do you want some?
No, I did read it before. So this was at the beginning of June. So I've known for a while.
Oh, he's just opening his results.
But basically, they're saying that the left side of my heart is larger than the right, and they're putting that down to me being unhealthy before I started running, and then getting into running, and then they're calling it the athlete's heart, which I'm definitely going to take. But they're saying that because of that, the heart's then grown stronger and then just pumping harder. So they said that they're not worried about anything, but for the few days where I didn't actually get the result through, I was quite worried. Especially when they say that it's an anomaly. You're like, well, do you not want to tell me exactly what it is now?
You like normal, don't you?
Yeah. So with that in mind, I've started to just dial things back a little bit, not putting too much pressure on myself, because that Wednesday I did the session at East Cheshire and actually bailed on the session, like on the third one. I just thought, I'm not pushing it, so that was in the back of my mind. So yeah, one negative bit from me. What about you, James? How's your training going?
Can you top that? For training?
Lots of my, I think when we came and did the ambassadors takeover, and I talked about the amount of strength work I was needing to do around this whole left hip side that I've had for ages, and so lots of my running over the last few weeks and months has actually been running I do with my clients, which has been more like 8:30, 9, even 10-minute mile running. So my mileage is relatively okay, but lots of it's just mega slow. And I've got a real admiration for people who are running at that pace, because I feel done in. If I go for a 12k run with one of my clients at kind of 10-minute mile pace, the next day I think, God almighty,
Remember, Sean, we did that Hyde 7 recce once. You said it was one of the hardest runs you ever did. About 8.5-minute mile.
Because your running style's slightly different. And you just because you're changing your gait and the way that you.
I've always felt it's, for me, because obviously I'm running relatively quickly most of the time. And I look at the amount of milliseconds my feet are touching the ground when I'm running, normally, and then I look at how many milliseconds I'm putting my body load through my feet when I'm then running with my clients, and it's significantly longer. And I do wonder whether or not that's just making the muscles there for the next day go blunt hell. So really interesting. So last week I was actually away, and I thought, alright, I can actually get my running done. Let's just see if the body is still capable of actually running at any kind of pace whatsoever. And I had 4 runs last week where I was sitting at, and my average was under 7-minute mile for each and every run, and the hip not hurting. And I was a bit like, thankfully I can actually still run at an okay pace. On Sunday I did just shy of 13 miles, and I did that at 6:55 average. And again, I think tendon was just beginning to say, I'm fatigued now, I need you to stop. So it did. But actually, it feels like it's getting to a good place again. The amount of times I'm feeling any pain is very minimal versus where it was.
Do you ever have it though, like, you probably say like some of my easy runs are like nearly 9-minute miling some days, and like you look at that and think, oh, he's just literally jogging there, but I'm not, I'm just knackered, and it feels quite that pace. I'm running like 8:30, 9 minute, but I wouldn't want to go any quicker. You know what I mean? And
sometimes you do need that as a genuine recovery run.
Yeah, and I just think to myself, God, how do I do this one day and then the next day I can run quicker? It's like sometimes you just go with what you got to go with how you feel.
There are days where I go out with a client and I am just like, I'm really glad this is what I'm doing today.
Yeah,
it's the right thing.
Yeah, I just like think I just get me home. This is so. It's called an easy run, but it's not. It's one of the hardest runs of the week.
And you have been racing as well, James. You did Welsh Castles.
Yeah.
I did Welsh Castle Relay. I was probably a bit silly there because
you looked in agony at the finish.
So Chiltern Runners last year, when Welsh Castles changed what the vets looked like, Chiltern Runners stacked the vets last year because they knew it would be one time where they might actually be able to win one of the categories, and we did, which meant that last year I got a really easy stage. This year we switched it back, so regardless of whether you were a vet or not, if you were one of the fastest runners, you were in the main open category. So it did mean that I was one of the quickest in the vets. So I said, look, just put me in one of the hard stages if you need to, that's fine. And I got given stage 7 and regretted having said what I did.
It was hard. I said it in the last episode, it's hard driving that, let alone winning it.
To have that kind of 6 mile hard uphill, and therefore the compression into my sciatic nerve was just killing me by the time I got to the top of it. So weirdly for me, the next 3 miles downhill were actually dead easy because my leg was almost straight and the sciatic nerve was being able to be completely straight. Yeah. So I found regardless of what my face looked like, the downhill was much easier. The hardest bit of that was when you then got back onto the flat at the bottom of the downhill, and my heart rate, literally coming downhill, my heart rate had been about 150, and I was going at like 520, 530 mile down it. Suddenly got onto the flat, and I'm now going at kind of 6 minute mark, and my heart rate's at 170, 172. I'm like, oh my word, this is hard. I was in a lot of pain at the end, but actually, come Tuesday, absolutely fine again. So it literally was just that day.
Must have been all the driving you did as well.
So it wasn't driving. I didn't drive on the Saturday, but obviously was sat in the minibus.
Yeah.
And again, because you just sat down for so long, and you sat on that, your sit bone, the sciatica was there for kicking in, and then you're getting out and going, right now, go and do a hard 11 miles. And the whole hip was just like, really?
It's not good prep, is it?
So it was fine. So I have got Wilmslow in a couple of weeks. I haven't trained really for Wilmslow. I did a couple of bits of speed last week. So I am literally just going to sit somewhere in between the 35 and the 37.5 minute paces. Just sit in between them, take it easy for the first, the first 3 miles are easy at Wilmslow 10, so probably won't take it easy.
Problem is with Wilmslow though, unless you get a good quick half in, first half.
Yeah,
the second half's tougher, isn't it?
Albeit, I think that kilometre from 7 up to 8, if you've hammered the first half too fast, that kilometre, even though it's not a hard hill, but it is just a long drag up, and you can be found wanting on that particular kilometre.
Definitely.
I don't mind the bit at 9k where you have the dip, because you just push through that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yes, good to be out, and good last week to just kind of sit on the couch. I can still run reasonably fast. It's okay.
Good.
Yeah, okay. That's it for this episode. I've never done the outro with the next guest actually sat in the corner. So pick me up if I get this wrong, George. So that's it for this episode. In the next interview we'll be speaking to a runner who's being coached by James for the London Marathon this year. George is also known for his Instagram comedy videos. He's got PBs of 19 minutes for the 5k, a half of 1:23 and a marathon of 3:04 in London this year. We will be speaking to George Lewis.